running.
And an amazing resume as a mama. She's got 3 babies. Can we first talk about your family?
Absolutely. They came in to celebrate the 100th finish here to Chicago.
Yay.
And I made sure, typically I'm traveling internationally, so I made sure to align the 100th to be back here in this fabulous city of Chicago. And
the 100th marathon that you've done.
Yes.
That is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
I am curious how that even happens with an 8, a 5, and a 3-year-old at home in terms of training. They just know, hey, mom's off for a run now.
It's just always go, 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 and a little bit of that training is, you know, chasing after them. They're 8, 5, and 3, and, you know, my husband, kudos to him, he was out there bringing them around the course. They saw me 3 times yesterday, so it's great to be here.
Okay, so I was reading that before you started doing marathons, you kind of hadn't run. So this was 20 years ago, 2005, I believe, you ran your first marathon. What got you into running?
Yeah, so at the time, I had received a medical diagnosis that was really devastating, and I actually had gone through menopause at 20, and it thrust me into a really difficult and challenging space, and I needed something that made me feel young and felt absolutely impossible.
Yes.
And so at the time, I started training, and I couldn't even make it a mile. And so to be here now, and I thought, this is just an impossible goal. How I signed myself up for the Boston Marathon. How am I even going to be able to make it in 4 months, 26.2 miles?
Oh, here you are.
And yeah, so that's running Dublin, finally pregnant, which is a whole other story.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I couldn't make it a mile, and I just needed something that made me feel like I was 20 again, and that felt impossible. And when I turned the corner of that first finish line and crossed it, I just burst into tears, and that first marathon changed my life. And I never imagined I'd be here at 100, because truly I couldn't run a mile when I started.
That is absolutely remarkable. Now, this achievement, okay, so you started running marathons in 2005. It is now 2025. So doing the math here, we're talking about 5 marathons every year on average for the last 20 years?
Well, about that, they were consolidated into a few years because I was able to navigate and be pregnant, and then COVID shut down a few things.
Oh, yeah.
Then I also did 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. Twice.
Wait. Let's talk about that a little bit. How did you do that physically? How did your feet handle it, your body, your muscles?
And logistically, too.
7 in a row. 7 in a row.
So, yeah, so that helped me get 14, you know, almost over a span of a short period of time. But it's grueling, and I will tell you, you are on a plane, you land in Antarctica, you have 168 hours to get around the world, and then you run Antarctica, the clock starts, and then once everybody's done, we get back on a plane, land back in Africa, start the next race, you know, get through customs and everything, and then we fly to Perth, then Dubai, then Lisbon, then Fortaleza, and then we finish in Miami. So it is around the world in 7 days.
And then you sleep for 14 days after that.
That is wild, wild.
So you have a program, from what I read too, right? So are you training people who want to do marathons, or what are you offering people?
More so, yes, I founded Fitness International Travel, and we are an expert niche market travel agency that specializes in the marathon programs. And so we bring runners around the world to run marathons, and we make their travel turnkey. And so there's a lot going around for race day. We make sure that we have hotels near the start and finish, that they have a good meal the night before, that they know how to get to the expo, and then we celebrate with them. So, you know, when we're traveling to Tokyo or Antarctica or any of these destinations that might feel daunting, it's at ease. They come into a family foundation. We have that camaraderie, and everything is set up for them so that they need to focus on the flights and the fun.
And the race.
And the
race,
can't
too.
run for them, yes.
Because I will say, I've done a couple, I've just done Chicago 2 times, but the logistics do stress you out. It's like, okay, what train am I going to get? What stop am I going to get off at? How am I going to time my bathroom run before all those questions, and what's the crowd going to be like? Where are the barriers? So taking all that guesswork out, I'm sure, is so useful for runners so that they can just concentrate on what they want to concentrate on.
Yeah, and it was really born out of, like, this passion became my profession, and so it does it for the runners as well, but it also does for the spectators. Think about how much your crew, you asked me, how do I do this training? You know, I have a big village, you know, my husband, my family, they all came here, and other people are bringing their family in. So we make sure we fully believe spectating is a sport as well. And so we make sure that they're supported because their loved ones want to get on the course and know where to go and know how to cheer everybody on. So, yeah, we've been able to work with amazing events, including the Chicago Marathon, and seeing this all come together and how you can help amplify a city in a race is just, it's beautiful. So I love having this travel agency that specializes in that.
Let's talk about the marathon and why Chicago's marathon is so special. You've done 100, okay, so you have a lot of experience. What makes Chicago stand out?
I mean, first of all, the event planners are fabulous. Like the CEM puts on an incredible race. The neighborhoods and the streets that you run through, everybody comes out, and there's such culture and diversity around the course. Everybody's cheering, and you know, it's one of the major events. So you know, the Abbott World Marathon majors around the world, 53,000 people. They actually had record finishers yesterday with over 54,000 finishers. So I just wanted to be back in the USA to accomplish this. I started with Boston, and then to be at another major city and a fabulous Chicago city, and finish in Grant Park. I mean, it's amazing.
Can you, for those unfamiliar with these other world major marathons, how does Chicago compare? Like, what are the biggest differences? Is it, do the other courses, you know, when I think about, for example, Berlin, and these other big cities, Dublin even, like, do you get an idea? Because one of the hallmarks of Chicago is you get to go through all these totally different neighborhoods, from like Chinatown, you know, you're up in Boys Town on the north side, you go through like, you know, you have the downtown, Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
Is it like that in other neighborhoods, like, or in other cities? Is it that neighborhood feel? And
well, I think that is one of the things that separates, you know, sets Chicago apart, is that it is a city of neighborhoods, and it adds to that camaraderie of the spirit of the marathon. But in the other, you know, marathons are a long distance. So, you know, in New York, you get the 5 boroughs, and that's kind of what separates out, you know, the New York City Marathon. And then in Boston, you're on like this point-to-point heading towards that famous Sitco sign in the suburbs, and the, you know, heading into the city. So each one of the races has their unique elements. In Tokyo, you're doing a lot of like switchbacks out in the center of the city, starting at Shinjuku, and then which has the longest.
Like uphill switchbacks? Like,
no, just sorry, not that.
I was like, oh man, that sounds tough.
Out and back turns that, you know, so you can see the other runners. But you start at Shinjuku in the center part of the business, and then you end at the Imperial Palace. So there's just something unique about all of them. In Berlin, you start and finish on the Tiergarten, and you finish under the Brandenburg Gate. So there's just all of these incredible aspects. And then London, you're running along the Thames, you see the London Eye. So there's different landmarks in each city that really just highlight the town.
Is Chicago thought of as the fastest?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know that you now have all of the world records and the American records on this course?
Wow.
Yeah.
At the Chicago Marathon. So kudos
for those who didn't hear, his name again, there's a new American record holder. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he ran it in under 205.
Wow.
204, we'll get you the name. 204.
43.
Unbelievable.
He smashed it. He's been going after this record for a long time, and it was just brilliant. You know, now the world records for men and women and the American world records are here at Chicago. So this is another reason to come back and run the city. It is a city of records, and Chicago Event Management was talking about that and celebrating that last night. And I think it goes to the execution of their event. Like, they execute it well. There's good space. The crowds were out. The weather was perfect.
Yeah.
So for a second, before I started having babies too, I was doing half marathons, and they have this National Park Half Marathon program. I'm sure you've seen it. So cool. And if I could give you guys any advice to make a trip around a race, that's the way to go, because you can go to these really fun spots. So you have quite a display here. These were a few that you picked out, your medals. Were these some of your favorites that you've done over the years?
They're some of my favorites. You know, there's my first Boston. You can see it is the littlest one there, but that was 20 years ago.
You can hold it up if you want.
Medal.
Oh, here's the Boston.
Yeah, so this is Boston. This was the very first race that kind of changed my life. So Boston 2005, 20 years ago. And then, you know, medals have changed. I have the 777 World Marathon Challenge that went run around the world. And then there's the Abbott World Marathon Majors.
That's a big one.
It is a
Look at
big
this
one.
one. Dang.
That thing
So-
is heavy.
Yeah.
It's, and actually I'll be getting my 4th one of those in New York in a few weeks.
Wow.
What's the one with the beads there? That is super cool.
That is an event run in Kenya. We run in a game park, and there's hills.
Game park.
Yes, and
Whoa.
so animals, and the event gives back to the local schools and the community.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
No, it's fine. I mean, there's so many incredible races, like you said, in these
Yes.
national parks. And the other one is the Marathon du Médoc. It runs through 59 vineyards in Bordeaux, and at every mile they ask if you want wine. Everybody wears costumes.
Oh, I love that.
So that's just a fun one. And then Antarctica. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to run in Antarctica.
Wow.
Was it all just ice? Or is there anything other than ice on
So I've
Antarctica?
done 2 different races there.
Oh my
Is that it right
gosh.
there? Is that you in Antarctica?
Yes, and so that's done in
Amazing.
interior Antarctica, and that's me finishing the.
So you ran in boots?
That was afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah.
A jump afterwards, but yeah, I've been so lucky to be able to run in these beautiful destinations around the world. But then the final 2 are just special here. This is 2012 Chicago, and then finishing 100 here.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I didn't mean to interrupt, but the one
No.
there you said you were in a game park. So when I did the one in Glacier National Park, you guys, they have so many grizzly bears in Glacier that they had the Native American people who owned part of the land that the half marathon was on. They had to drive in like four-wheelers, what
Yeah,
are those
four-wheeler.
called?
Yeah.
Along
ATV things.
ATV things
Yeah.
along the whole way, the track, because they were scaring away the bears in case there was a bear that came out on the running path.
So the
Because-
sound of the engines.
Yes.
Wow.
So when you're in Africa and you're in a game park, are you worried that as you're running along, a lion's gonna see you and decide that you're a snack? Like, how does that
You have to
go?
be faster, right?
Or just faster than one other person.
Exactly. So, you know, the race does a lot of, security and, different security than the race, what they're doing here. But they have helicopters kind of seeing where the game are located. But there are rhinos, there are lions in the game park. It is a full Big 5 game park there in Layla. And they have guards every 150 meters, and then they have water stations that have, protection as well. But they're on it, and they do make sure that it is safe and secure, and that they're tracking the animals the entire time. But yes, it is not.
Yeah.
There's no fences.
How would that be for motivation to
Right?
get your
Go
butt to
through
the
and
finish
go by
line?
like a thick, dense
Yeah.
bush or something. Like,
Exactly.
oh. Do you have any fun stories that stick out to you over these? I'm sure you do. 100 marathons. Anything that's like funny or something that really stuck with you in your mind?
What made 2012? Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was going to ask.
I know,
what
we have
made
so many questions.
2012 so special.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so that's a great. So that was the first marathon that I ever did with my husband. He is from the Midwest. He's from Cleveland and he grew up in Chicago for a little bit and was training for the Chicago Marathon and got injured. And he, when I met him, he had never run the marathon. And about 2 months before the 2012 one, I said, "You're gonna run. We're gonna do it." So we signed up. We had just gotten engaged. And we completed that marathon together. Chicago was his first marathon, our first marathon together. And it was another reason why I wanted to come back and do 100 here, because I never believed that I'd get from 1 to 100. And yesterday was our 12th wedding anniversary.
Aw, congrats.
On October 12th, the race.
Wow.
And so it was just
There we
really
go.
full circle to come back and have that experience here.
We have to give a shout out to one of our producers, Delaney, as well, who has a very similar story to that. Just got married really the day before, or the week before, and they too just finished the Chicago Marathon there. So Delaney, if you're watching, congrats to you. So awesome. So 100 in the books. What is next? Are you going to go for 200? Like, what's
for
the future
1,000.
hold?
1,000. I mean, as long as my legs, knock on
Yeah.
that, can keep going. I love the marathon. Like I said, it changed my life. But there's really no rest for me. I leave for Cape Town on Wednesday, and I have a series of events back to back because Cape Town is a candidate race to become the next Abbott World Marathon Major. And so I'll be in Cape Town on Sunday, and then DC Marine Corps Marathon will be the next week because they're celebrating their 50th anniversary.
Wow.
And then I'll head to New York and be at the New York City
And do you
Marathon.
have clients from your travel agency that are going to be along for the ride on these adventures?
Yeah, so it's a little bit of wearing a few
Yeah,
different hats, you
sure.
know, being there and doing market research and understanding the course. You know, I want to understand the course, so I'm an expert to them.
Sure.
What does it feel like? What does it look like? Where are good spots to spectate? But yes, we have some clients in Cape Town, and then I have 50 runners in Marine Corps. Some of them are the Wounded Warriors, and who will be running it as injured soldiers with us. And then in New York, actually, it will be just me. So.
Oh,
Okay.
I've got 2 questions.
Sure.
Okay, so how do you, first of all, maintain your health? Because my joints, I can walk up and down stairs and I'm cracking like popcorn. It's nuts. And then 2, do you have any goals for you time-wise? Like, how fast did you run this marathon yesterday? And do you have any goals for like your personal record?
So the first question, I am a bit surprised that I'm still standing now. My husband's always like, how do you bounce back? How do you run? You know, I don't ever push it. I listen to my body a lot. I had that complicated medical diagnosis with all the hormones and all of that. So I just try to do what I love and smile about it. And this kind of segues into your second question. You know, what is the time? I run a lot on body feel. And, you know, when I'm coaching individuals, the first thing I ask them is take off the watch. And they have a really difficult time just not having the watch there. And yes, I am competitive and I want another Boston qualifier, but everybody does ask, how's your time? And a lot of my clients they've trained really hard and they want to go get a time, and I love that for them. But I also want to let them know, like, you've put in the work, you've done the effort, like, don't worry about the time. Just go out there and have the time of your life. And so I've really been focusing on that message for them, just easing that stress heading to the start line. And we kind of humor it up with, you know, the Dirty Dancing song or a ballad to have the time of their life out there. And yesterday it wasn't pretty. I struggled a little bit in those later miles, but I just thought, you never thought you'd be here, and this has truly turned into my passion. And just truly remember, have the time of your life. And
Good.
so.
That's
So
beautiful.
that's her time, Caitlin, the time of her life. That's right.
Yeah.
I got hung up on time too.
Yeah.
Which
Started
I
off too
think
quick.
started off too quick.
Yeah.
Died. Well, I'm sorry?
Did you run yesterday?
Not yesterday.
Okay.
Not yesterday. This is in a previous lifetime.
Yeah. Well, by the way, she jogged here this morning somehow.
Exactly. I don't understand how. We're going to get you some actual wood to knock on.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, because I'm weirdly superstitious like that. We want you to have a great time in Cape Town.
Thank you.
And on to New York and all your adventures. Congratulations on 100 marathons. For those who are maybe interested in hooking up with your travel agency to have these curated experiences to go around the world and run marathons, how do folks find you?
Absolutely. They can go to fitnessinternationaltravel.com, and they can also find us on Instagram at fitness.i.travel.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Kelly,
So fun.
congrats. Thank you for coming back in.
Thank you so much
for
for having
us.
me.
We really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, Babylist is here in Chicago for a very special event in Englewood. They are not only raising money, but they are gathering tons of supplies. We're talking about stuff like strollers and car seats and diapers, and they're going to provide these items to 500 local families who are in need, and we're going to talk about how we can all help them out when we come back.
So we are talking about Babylist. You may have heard of Babylist before, but they're here in Chicago for a special event in Inglewood today, partnering with two incredible organizations, Share Our Spare and Family Focus, to show up for families in a meaningful way. So through this partnership, they're getting the essential baby gear, the things that everyone needs, the diapers, car seats, strollers. These things can get expensive. They're gathering these items for 500 Chicago families, helping parents feel seen, supported, and ready for what's ahead. And I love these programs especially because, for example, Share Our Spare, you know, when you have a baby and you get all these diapers for these diaper events with your family or your friends, and then these babies grow out of these diapers and you have so many extras.
Oh my gosh, yes, indeed.
So this is a way for the community to really come together.
I like it. So we are joined this morning by Amy Bidlack, who is the Director of PR and their social media for Babylist. Amy, can you hear us okay?
I can't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
Oh, she doesn't hear anything.
She doesn't hear us just yet. It looks like the event is in full
What are you saying?
swing. We can hear you.
She didn't say. She just said to keep it horizontal. So
Maybe we should resolve our audio connection and then check back in.
But they've had a couple really exciting guest video messages.
Oh my gosh, exactly. Yeah, some pretty big names that are going to be making kind of a special cameo appearance there. But Caitlin, this is, I'm glad they do what they do. And to your point about these kids grow so fast that you have to kind of have a game plan for what to do with these. Sometimes they're lightly used clothing and obviously like diaper, you know what I'm saying? We get every once in a while, our neighbors, bless them, our next door neighbors, like sometimes we'll wake up and there will be like a paper bag, all these awesome shoes and like that James, the next door neighbor, and then Jero, poor second kid, he's got a lot of hand-me-downs, but they're fine.
They're fine.
They're
My
totally
kids live in hand-me-downs.
Yeah. All right, I understand Amy can hear us now. Amy, how's our connection now? Can you hear us okay?
We're good. We're good. Yeah.
Very, very nice. It looks like you guys are in full swing right now. Tell us where you are joining us from and what is happening on your end to gather all of these supplies.
Yeah, totally. So we are here at Family Focus. I'm with Babylist, and today is really all about supporting families. So we are donating essential baby gear items to over 500 families in Chicago today in partnership with Family Focus and Share Our Spare.
Okay, I love that. So behind you, you have a couple items. Is this the entrance to your event?
Yes.
If people want to come out and see what you have going on?
Exactly. This is the entrance. We've got a stroller, a car seat, some bottles, some diapers. And again, really, this is all just about supporting families to get them the items that they need for a baby.
So how does it all work? How does Babylist kind of curate the list itself? And how do you guys bring together all these supplies? Where are they coming from?
Yeah, so, you know, Babylist, we are more than just a baby registry. We really offer, you know, best guides, information for new parents. And we have been doing some donation and initiatives that really kicked off in January this year when the devastating fires hit Los Angeles. We actually have a showroom space in LA. And when that happened, we were able to transform our showroom into a donation center where we collected over $2 million worth of baby products and were able to help over 1,000 families in the Los Angeles area. And since then, we've showed up for families who were in the NICU in New York City and for families who were impacted by the floods in Texas. And today we're here in Chicago to help families out, you know, in support of some of our amazing brand partners here at Babylist.
So if there is a family watching right now who has young ones at home and they could definitely use some help, what can they expect at your event? What is it like? Is it one of those, I see some people behind you with some tents set up. Is it kind of just you visit each station and gather what you need?
Exactly. It's all free product. I'm here to go into the hands of families who need it most in Chicago.
Got it. Now, who are you expecting to show up? Did they pre-register, or can anyone show up there and get in on this? You know, I know that stuff is not cheap. Those car seats, those strollers, the bill, the tab gets pretty steep after a while.
It really does. And yes, these families are pre-registered through Family Focus. So, you know, reach out to your local Family Focus location. to get connected. And for families who might be watching who have gently used items to donate, we would encourage you to reach out to Share Our Spare, which is an amazing organization here in Chicago where families can donate gently used baby products to get in the hands of families who really need it most.
Amy, can you speak to the exclusive video messages from Gabrielle Union and Mallory Swanson that are happening today?
Yeah, you know, one of my favorite parts of working at Babylist is we got a lot of friends who are big fans of ours. And so we have some exclusive content today from Gabrielle Union, whose husband, Wayne Wade, of course, is a Chicago native. And then Chicago star Mallory Swanson also sent a video of just support and encouragement for the families who will be here today. So we'll have those playing on the background when the families are all here.
How big of a deal, we're taking a step back now, Amy, is Babylist? I don't remember it existing when I myself had babies. Let's see, they're 9 and 4 now, so it's been a minute. But how does the whole process work? Is it basically exactly like a wedding registry?
Yeah, you know, when expecting families or expect a new baby in their life, there's a lot of gear and products that you need. And so our founder, Natalie Gordon, started Babylist almost 13 years ago when she was standing in the aisle of a baby store and felt like, you know, this wasn't necessarily everything she needed. And she wanted some non-traditional products as well. Families today need things like, you know, help walking their dog, or maybe want something from a small retailer like Etsy. And so Babylist exists as a digital registry where you can add any item from any website, as well as, like I said, non-traditional gifts. And so it's a really amazing place for growing families to register for all of the items and services they might need when they're expecting a little one.
I love that. So you mentioned Share Our Spare and Family Focus, two Chicago-based family help organizations. Do you know if people want to donate their extras or donate maybe even some money to these organizations, how they could do that?
Yeah, so check out family-focus.org and then shareourspare.org for ways to get connected to both of those organizations.
Babylist, I love what you guys are doing. Thanks for visiting Chicago and helping out these families, and good luck in your future events as well. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks so much, and follow us on social at Babylist to see more.
Okay.
All right.
Very good, very good, very good. Thanks so much, Amy. I remember, Caitlin, during the whole process of gearing up for our first.
Yeah.
The learning curve is so steep.
Oh, yeah.
I remember there were certain things, I mean, one of the examples that comes to mind, but I'd be curious to pick your brain on this. For example, we got like the milk bottle warmer, okay, for kid number 1. So Theo had nice warm milk. Or the isn't there a diaper warmer?
Yeah, the wipe warmer. I actually used that for all
second
3
kid.
kids.
You did?
I did.
Caitlin, Cody, wow.
I used the same wipe warmer for all 3 kids.
You have some lucky babies who got those butts wiped in style.
Cloths. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're to your point. Yes, I mean the bottle warmer thing I think we only used with the first, and then the next ones you're just sticking that bottle under some hot water under the tap.
That's further than I go.
You know, you just give it to him cold. Here we go.
I don't think my second kid knows what the taste of warm milk. Well, post nursing.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He never knew.
Yes. Well, the technology changes too with all these babies. So I was talking to our own Nat Bomke.
Yeah.
Because over the years, you would be amazed at what they come out with for these kids and to make your life easier for mom and dad. But I like how they have this baby list. Like you said, if you get married, you put it all in one spot. And on this baby list, you can kind of pull from different websites and throw them all on there. That actually brings up, and this is something new too. Have you noticed kids' birthdays? They all have like gift lists.
Oh,
you can
no.
check out so-and-so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Target, Amazon.
I was just going to comment on how big of a deal the birthday party has become. I mean, they're like events. Like, so there's like a baby list for a like a kids registry.
Kids registries. This just reminds me of registries in general. But like, I'm actually liking this because
it takes the guesswork out, and
and then you know that they're going to get something that they want.
I've really liked. There have been a couple parents who have gone with the you know, little Jimmy or whatever would appreciate $5 from everyone to put toward a video game or something, and then everyone just does that, and it takes the guesswork away from that.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that's another way of doing it where
Instead
he
of running
can then
to the
buy.
dollar store on your way to the
Exactly.
party.
Exactly.
Hey, let's do something
what
quick.
would you? I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, and I can go first with my answer. But
Okay.
in terms of what to buy and what not to buy for a first-time parent out there, do you have any thoughts? And if you need time to think, I can give my answer.
You
Maybe
give
it'll...
your answer first.
Okay, so mine is, when it comes to the little baby onesies, go with zippers,
Yeah.
not snaps.
Yeah.
Zippers, not snaps. So, because these little guys, they're what's the word? Squirrely little things.
And in the middle of the night, you don't want to take the
No.
buttons.
So the zipper that goes from like the foot all the way up,
Oh, yeah.
zip.
Oh,
you
yeah.
get them in there, you squeeze them in there, zip. That's my one. That was one of the best pieces of advice I give. So I'm just trying to pay it back.
forward.
Yeah, pay it forward.
I'm
Because the
thinking
snap, we got a couple snap.
And they did not get worn
It just
often.
well, they didn't get worn as much, and then the times I did, I was like I get frustrated.
Yeah.
Trying to get my kid into it.
Oh yeah, my husband doesn't even try with the leg part, especially if they're like shorts and they've got the buttons. He's like,
Oh my gosh! And you
be
don't know
impressed.
which button goes,
Exactly.
which male button part goes into which female. But it's just a
male and female.
yeah. The snaps, you know right? Well, you get what I mean. Yeah, the receiving end and the giving end.
Okay, yeah, no, I get it.
Okay.
Anyways, about the onesies. A couple of things. I wouldn't buy fancy clothes for kids because parents, those kids might wear them once for a picture and that's it. If you want your gift to actually be used, get onesies that zip. Also, bamboo material. It's like this really breathable material. It's kind of pricey. You don't have to get, I think it's Kite Baby brand. They've got off-brand versions of those jammies. Buy those. Because any parent that you buy those for are going to love them and love you for buying them because they're
What is the difference? Because I have actually, now that you say that, I have bamboo undershirts.
Okay.
And they're very breathable. And
They're
they
not going to get hot.
They're very soft too.
Yes, very silky
But is it the
smooth.
same thing? I mean.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, because babies, especially, when they're little and they're still swaddled, if you get them in some good bamboo jammies and then you put the swaddle on, you're not going to worry about them overheating because cotton pajamas, way too warm, too thick. So yeah, that if you could get some bamboo jammies that zip up, long sleeve, long pants, the parents that you buy for will love it. Also, a couple different things that they have, if you didn't know, you can buy, like for bottles, for example, because it's always matching what bottle the baby will take. You can buy, I think it's on Amazon or maybe Target, it's like a mixed brand bottle package. So you get like 5 or 6 different brands of bottles, different nipple heads.
Wow.
You can also do it with binkies. They've got them for binkies too, because babies are kind of picky. So if you got like a binky one and a bottle one,
Right. Then
parent would
take
love
the
it.
guesswork out of it. Let them
they've got
latch on.
all these different kinds. You don't know which one your kid's gonna like,
Very smart.
and
Very
those
smart.
have like the variety pack.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to continue on this parenting theme when we come back with an interview with someone who has more than 1 million followers on Instagram who goes by the Toddler Whisperer. She is up when we come back.
All right, welcome back. So we both have little ones that kind of can be, you know, challenging. When they're toddlers, sometimes these kids can go 0 to 100. So we're going to help you out today. We are joined by a professional in this topic.
Yay.
Devon Kuntzman, can you hear us?
Hi, I can.
Perfect. Okay, so Devon has 1 million plus Instagram followers because of her Toddler Whisperer program here. She's an ICF certified parenting coach, founder of Transforming Toddlerhood, and the author of Transforming Toddlerhood, your essential guide for ages 1 to 5.
Oof.
Thank you for joining us. We are going to dive deep into this toddlerhood, all discussion. Can we start off though by talking to you about why you felt the need to reach out and help parents? I could probably help you answer that, but in your opinion, in your own life experience.
Absolutely. So I started Transforming Toddlerhood because I realized back in 2018, no one was talking about the toddler years. And toddlerhood is an extremely challenging developmental period. So much so that we have all these names like Terrible Twos, Three-Nager, Fierce Fours. But what I started to realize is the more we label it in a negative way, the harder it is. So while toddlerhood is really challenging, it's also a critical developmental period that sets the stage for the rest of your child's life moving forward. And so we want to support parents in making the most of these early years, not just white knuckling it through.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I do feel like I'm white knuckling it and improvising so much of the time. Devon, you use an interesting verb that I want you to kind of elaborate on. You call it decoding toddler behavior. What does it really mean to decode toddler behavior, and how do we do it?
Yes, so every parent needs to know that toddler behavior isn't good or bad. It's communication. And what it's communicating is your child's level of brain development, their level of skills, their emotions, their sensory needs, basic needs, and developmental needs. So decoding really means looking below the surface of the behavior to understand what your child's trying to communicate, because the behaviors that drive us crazy, like hitting, biting, kicking, whining, tantrums, all of these are developmentally appropriate for kids ages 1 to 4. It's how they communicate with us.
Literally yesterday, my 3-year-old said she wanted to be a cat, and that's why she scratched the neighbor. So I said, Darcy, you don't scratch people. Can we just talk to one specific instance? Because I know this is something that happens with a lot of people, where your kid is trying to do something, put their socks on the right way without feeling the little line by their toe. And then all of a sudden, it's not going their way, and they get really mad. 0 to 100. Me and my husband joke it's like The Incredibles, the baby on The Incredibles, where the fire shoots out of their ears.
Yeah.
What do you do in that instance, not to ruin them? Because you said this is a very important developmental process, 1 to 5, to not ruin them down the road by not saying, stop it, we'll do it to get, whatever. What's the right approach there?
It's so challenging because toddlers so desperately want to be independent, because this whole developmental stage is about becoming their own person. But at the same time, they are practicing and learning so many skills that they often rely on us to meet their physical and their emotional needs. So in these moments when kids want to do it by themselves, but they can't quite get it, they get really frustrated. So the most important thing to do is stay calm and maybe say something like, "Oh, I see you trying so hard and you're getting stuck. Can I show you?" Or maybe you even model putting a sock on your own foot. But the more that we can work with our kids to build the skills and scaffold that development, the easier it gets with time.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Watch what mommy does. And this
Show
is how
them.
we do it. I never thought.
Yeah, I have noticed. So mine is right now 4. Okay, and here's one example from my kind of day to day. Is when I try to show him, sometimes he is like, "No, Daddy," like he wants it done this way. We were playing trucks in the sandbox yesterday, and I was moving one of the toys wrong. Like he wanted all the wheels on the ground, and I was taking the wheels up off the ground and scooping the sand with the wheel. And he was like, "No, no, no." What is he trying to communicate in, I guess I'm putting you on the spot here, but it's like he wants me to play his way, not my way.
Exactly, because play is the language and the job of toddlerhood. And when you think about it, toddlers have very little control over their lives. We're telling them when to eat, when to sleep, when to do all the things. So when it comes to play, toddlers, like, they have this need to feel a sense of control or feel powerful in their lives, and play is a place that they can do that. So they like to tell us how they want us to play because it helps them feel powerful. And letting your child feel powerful in these moments is really great, because then you're likely to get more cooperation in the moments when your child doesn't have a sense of control, because you spent some time earlier in the day meeting that developmental need.
That is very useful to know, because then because sometimes I'm tempted to be like, hey, Jero, you need to learn to play with other people and like let people play they want. But you're saying, at least for a parent, it's probably good to let them kind of own the experience and save that kind of lesson for a different time.
Yeah, it gives them a chance to feel powerful within your boundaries in a place that, you know, isn't super significant in daily life, but then that gives them that feeling being met. So then later in the day, when you need them to brush their teeth, they might be more likely to do it.
Okay, so something that I struggle with right now is, okay, so let's say your kids have school or you've been playing with them and then they need a break. They need to take a mental checkout. Is it okay to let them watch a show or something? Because I have a tendency to shut that down, like no shows, turn it off, but my husband kind of brings me back, like, hey, maybe they need to check out for a minute because they've been.
Because we all do, right? Like, we need to mindlessly scroll from time to time.
They get home from school. Is that okay, or are you seeing in your studies that that's a big no-no at all times?
I have a chapter dedicated to this in my book and present all the research because it is such a nuanced subject, but really it has to do with knowing your unique child and how screen time impacts them. Some kids can handle some screen time and they do fine with that. Other kids, it escalates their behavior and that effect can be cumulative. So it's really about knowing your unique child and creating healthy screen time habits within your family system, knowing your child's needs and how they react to screen time. But some screen time here and there is probably not a big deal. It's really about excessive screen time, and you always want to think about what is screen time taking my child away from, and making sure that they're getting that time maybe outside, that time for unstructured play, that time to feel bored so then they can learn to just fill in the pieces on their own without being reliant on something or someone to fill in the gaps.
I have totally noticed that in my neighborhood. I have 2 boys, and these boys are not good at being bored.
Your boys?
None of the kids in the neighborhood. It's like being bored because they don't. They always, it always feels like they have an outlet, whether it's a screen or something else. It's what's that next thing. And I do think that's a muscle that they need to exercise. Sitting in a car.
Watching the raindrops fall
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exercising that muscle. Devon, many parents say their toddler, I mean, you know, it is hard to get them to brush their teeth from time to time or listen to what you're saying. Do you have any insight into what is actually going on in a child's brain when they do seem defiant and when they do seem like they are not listening at all, and how we as parents can do better in those interactions?
Yes. So as I said, the whole point of toddlerhood is for your child to become their own separate individual. So when your child's saying no or looking at you and doing the opposite of what you ask, this is how they're trying to become their own person and develop a sense of self. So what you want to focus on is this idea of developmentally smart discipline or parenting, which is creating connection, setting limits and following through, and teaching skills. When you have all 3 of these elements, this is where you're going to see success in parenting. But if you're locked in a power struggle, you need to remember it takes 2 people to be in a power struggle. So if you're waiting for your toddler to leave the power struggle, you're gonna be waiting a long time. So you need to leave the power struggle in an empowered way. So you might say something like, when you brush your teeth, when you put on your pajamas, then we can read a book or something like this, and then actually move on. Go pick out some books. When your toddler sees that you're moving on and you're leaving this power struggle but still upholding the limit and following through on it, they're going to be more likely to do it.
I have a question about, Anthony spoke to the neighbors, the neighborhood kids. I have an issue in my house where I have an older daughter who's 6. I also have a 3-year-old. What happens when your older kid has a friend over, for example, and the little one is left out, and you say, play with your little sister, your little brother? Is that not the right approach either, because the little one gets frustrated that they're not, being involved in the older kid's play? How do you handle those situations?
The best thing to do is to set expectations in advance. So to talk to your older child and then talk to both kids together. Come up with a plan of what it's going to look like, which might be a combination of playing together and not playing together, but creating the expectation in advance, talking about how you all are going to follow through on it is going to make those times go much more smoothly, because it's not about what's right or wrong. It's about your family values, and then making sure kids understand what the plan is and then helping them follow through on it.
Love that.
Yeah,
I love that. Devon, I wonder if you can offer us parents a little bit of advice on how to handle our own mindset before we let you go. It can be overwhelming. Caitlin and I talk every day about kind of how every day feels like an improvisation, and hey, how do I navigate this new thing that I'm dealing with, especially during the toddler phase. They're so emotional sometimes. Do you have any advice on a simple shift or a daily practice for parents that can make this stage in parenthood feel a little less overwhelming?
I love that.
Yes, absolutely. I think first of all is just remembering that kids don't need punishments. We wouldn't punish a child for not knowing how to ride a bike, so we shouldn't punish a child for not knowing how to regulate their emotions. What they need is support in meeting limits and learning skills. So the way that we can do that is starting to acknowledge the moments when kids are doing what we want them to do and acknowledging it out loud. Because whenever you train your brain to focus on what's going well, you're going to see more of it. And when your toddler hears you acknowledging them in a positive way, they're going to be more likely to have that behavior. And when things go sideways, just remember, you're human, and that as long as everyone's physically safe, you can tell yourself this is not an emergency and help yourself calm down and get grounded. You don't have to address any behaviors as long as anyone's safe, and that gives you time to get calm and not fall for that sense of urgency our stress response tries to tell us we have to handle everything right now.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Thank you for the reminder about that. We are certainly flawed. All right, Devon, where can folks find you on social media if they want to follow along? I understand you got like a huge following at this point. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so you can find me at Transforming Toddlerhood on Instagram. You can find my book wherever books are sold, and my website is transformingtoddlerhood.com.
Okay.
Love it.
Thank
Love
you
it.
so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Devon, really appreciate it. One thing someone told me one time, Caitlin, too,
Yes.
because we stress out a lot,
Yeah,
as
yeah, of
parents,
course.
is that like, you must be doing good if you are stressed.
Because you care.
Because we care. That made me feel better, too.
Her saying, like, take a second and realize you're all safe. I don't think my one-year-old is
Yeah.
ever safe, because I'm telling you guys, I'm at that point right now where,
Yeah.
like,
No, I
I'm
know.
following him, physically
Yeah.
following him with my hands on both
Yeah.
sides. We're walking down the sidewalk, and he
No, I
will
know.
find a way to trip. This kid will hurt himself in every scenario. I don't care if I have him in my lap. I picked him up because he was throwing a fit at my daughter's cheerleading thing. I picked him up. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to drop him in front of all these people on like the gym floor. Like this is, but babies don't keep. Babies don't keep, and it'll be over before you know it.
Yeah.
They're going to get bigger. And
You're in that save him from certain death stage, like
every day, every minute
20
of every
times a day.
Don't climb on the couch. Don't climb on
Yeah.
the dining room table chair. What are you doing? Get off this. Stop climbing up the stairs and playing on halfway up the stairs. We'll get through this.
Toddlers
you
have an
guys.
unconscious death wish. I mean, come on.
Golly,
Face it.
wrap them in bubble wrap.
All right. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going to take a quick break. This has been a parenting-heavy show, but we are going to switch gears.
Can't end it without talking about poop.
About poop. We're not talking about toddler poop, though. We're
Good
talking
though.
about actual poop on the streets
Dog
of
poop.
the city,
Not
dog
human.
poop, and how one man, one local hero, is stepping up to the plate with an initiative to get everybody else to clean dog poop off the streets of Wicker Park. Apparently the situation up in Wicker is not ideal, okay?
get
People
some
need
poop
to
on your
get
shoe.
the menu.
Yeah.
The memo, I should say. You have me paranoid. I'm looking at my own shoes
Not
right
on your
now.
shoes. Yeah.
Kevin Sofen, the founder of Scoop the Poop, is joining us when we come back.
One more.
a father in our midst, and
Yes.
he's talking about Scoop the Poop. This is a program that he started, and he was just telling us, we didn't have much time on the commercial break to talk about, we're talking about our kids, why he started this Scoop the Poop initiative. But it's aiming to clean dog poop off the streets of Wicker Park. This is Kevin Sofen. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me here.
So let's get into it. You were
Yes.
telling us, because you had a baby, that this inspired you to start this Scoop the Poop program.
I've always had an itch around social impact and nonprofit work, and ever since I had my son around 7 months ago, it made it a little bit harder to go and get on the plane to Nepal or Tanzania, where I've done some of these water treatment initiatives. I wanted to channel some of that energy locally in Chicago, and one thing walking around Chicago that I was very annoyed by was just that there was dog poop everywhere. And my mom actually sent me this Jane Goodall quote the other week where it talked about it's easy to get apathetic about a lot of these problems that exist, but instead of just kind of assuming that someone else is going to do it, find that issue locally that makes you upset, whether it's how people treat each other, whether it's waste, or in this instance, dog poop, and do something about it.
So you have some things to display here. Do you want me to hold a couple of
Sure.
these?
Yeah.
I'll help you out. So did you post these around?
So I started with just these signs. So initially, there was a study done in the UK where it came out and said that they found that there was dog poop everywhere, and so they completely cleaned everything, all the dog poop up, and they put up these signs like that one. And the idea was
We're
that
watching you. Oh boy.
the idea is
Love
that
your
if you
park.
know that your neighbors are watching you, you are less likely to not pick up the dog poop. So I
Okay.
started with that green sign, which was a little bit more inviting.
Cute.
And so the idea is simple. One is simple creative signs to get people to nudge them to think about picking up the dog poop. Two is got these very basic dog poop dispensers from Amazon, and the idea is that if you make poop bags accessible, people are more likely to grab it and pick up their dog poop. Even responsible dog owners forget their dog poop bags. And then third, I used to say that it was social shaming, but instead of social shaming, I think it's more actually just loving your community. I mean, you wouldn't let your dog poop in your living room, so why let your dog poop in your community living room?
I love that.
Caitlin, as you were holding that up,
Yeah.
I snapped the QR code, and for those who can't see, it takes you right to. I mean, this looks like a Scoop the Poop website where you can sign up to volunteer. You can find out more about Kevin. You can follow him on Instagram. And then there's a couple links to like experiments, and there's a psychology experiment here. Maybe this is awesome. How did you come up with these designs and create this kind? It feels like it's almost a brand.
It's starting to become that, I guess you could say, but I just wanted to come up with something that wasn't just like a pick up the poop. If you walk around Chicago, you see those. It looks like a rat with laser beams coming out of its eyes, and so people kind of glaze over it. So the idea was something a little creative, and kind of the age-old adage, your mom's not here to pick up after you. A parenting lesson, you need to do it. And so kind of a funny little thing, there's no such thing as a dog poop fairy, so do it yourself.
So I want to hear, what has the reaction been from your community, and are you getting donations of poop bags, or like how are you filling these containers up all the time?
Yeah, so each one comes with 7 dog poop bag rolls in there.
Oh, wow.
See it in there. So it's pretty basic. None of this is rocket science. And so I have partnered with the First Ward as well as the SSA of Bucktown and Old Town.
No way.
And the First Ward provided us poop bags to refill the stations. I've self-funded some of this, and I've also got donations. We even just got a grant from the SSA Bucktown and Old Town to just start rolling this out. The biggest issue is that these need to be refilled. So I've now had about 45 volunteers volunteer to allow me to put this on their fence, and then when it's empty, they refill it.
Nice.
And it just keeps on going on.
That works. How has the community been responding to this so far from your vantage point?
So far, it's been very positive. I mean, there's been a few people who've been like, "Yeah, that's the poop guy," and kind of joking. I never thought that would be the
You
dog.
gotta get some merch.
Yeah, I do have a sticker. We have a little collaboration going on with Garbage Gals. It's a very awesome nonprofit focused on cleaning up trash around Chicago, and so we've partnered with them. We have some little stickers that it's actually a picture of a raccoon holding a rat picking up dog poop. So kind of a cool little sticker. And earlier I heard there was a lot of talk about parenting, and actually one of the main reasons why I started this was because I wanted to set a good example for my son.
Yeah.
Aww.
And kind of the whole show me, don't tell me. And so I wanted to show my son that, hey, with small little actions, we can make a difference and impact in our local community. And it's something that I have videos of me hanging these up with William on my chest.
Sure,
and,
there it is.
Yeah.
Right on demand.
There he is.
Have you noticed a difference? There's less poop out there?
There definitely is, and I think it's one of those things that I think most people can agree that dog poop on the streets is not something that anyone wants.
No.
Nope.
So we're getting very positive response, and I'm hopeful that we'll just continue to get more funding here and there to scale this up to hopefully have dog poop-free streets in Chicago.
Exactly.
I love that.
Like it starts in Wicker Park and then spreads from there. Yes, this is an issue that I think both sides of the aisle can get behind.
Yes.
Kevin Sofen, founder of Scoop to Poop, everybody. You're a local hero.
Local
hero. Thank you so much, Kevin. We are getting the wrap for this hour. Gabby and Tia are up next with another hour of Chicago Now. We'll be right back.
Fox.
Chicago Now.
Yes.
Happy Monday to you all.
Happy Monday. It's good to be here on a Monday.
It is, yeah. I think it's going to be a good week. We have a great show coming up. We have mentalist Sydney Friedman coming on ahead of his show Secrets at Carnival on October 29th. I'm so excited for him because I grew up watching segments with him all the time. So as soon as I saw him come in, I was like a little bit starstruck.
I know. It's just in the hair. The hair is always like
so cool.
Perfect. How do you get your hair that perfect? We got to talk to him about that too. Okay. And so we also have coming up on the show, I don't know about you, but growing up, my dog loved playing with balls, almost like a ball junkie. Some dogs do have like addictive behavior when it comes to certain toys, especially balls. And so we're going to talk to a woman who is behind some of that research coming up. But first, we got to talk about what's trending. And there's a lot to get to on the trending front. One is, I think, a little bit more serious, and that's the Israel says that all hostages from the October 7th, 2023 attacks have been released by Hamas. This is something that I think we've all been kind of eyeing and waiting and watching for. And finally, this has happened. We do know that President Donald Trump has been negotiating with the Israeli Prime Minister to get this done, to get the ceasefire done. And so this is at least something that we can see that has been accomplished and has really been a long time coming.
Yeah.
We're talking more than 2 years now. So a lot of people have been waiting and hoping that this would come. And it sounds like it's a done deal.
This is the first phase of that
Yes.
U.S.-backed ceasefire plan. And I was talking about it this morning on Good Day Chicago. I was out just kind of watching the news come in about the hostages making it onto Israeli land, and knowing that Donald Trump was going to be talking a little bit later in the morning, we were able to take that live as well. But you had to see the happiness that came from some of the Israelis was really nice. We do know that there's mixed emotions also with this, because some of the hostages didn't come back alive, and so they get to at least finally bury their loved ones as well.
And you know what's interesting about this is, we have had experts on the show that have talked about, other presidents that have tried to, get this kind of peace agreement done, and we're not, weren't able to. So this is a sign of something positive, at least on the international front, when it comes to President Donald Trump and now having these hostages be released. So that's something that we will continue to watch. I probably need to move my mic, something else I need to watch. That is something we will continue to watch as all of that unfolds. We also want to talk about something that I think is a little fun, and something that I think parents are a little sick of. And I was telling you, you were like, what?
My jaw dropped.
These really expensive, and so I thought it was just me. So my daughter had school pictures, and I thought it was just me when I saw how much the pictures were. When I was growing up, I remember, maybe 20, 40 bucks my mom spent on school pictures. The max, right? For you to get, all of the pictures, some of the prints, etc. A little, I would say right at around 300 bucks. And I started talking to parents, because when I saw it, I was like, that is too much money. This is crazy. I could have hired a professional photographer for this. And that's one of my daughter's photos right there from her photo shoot.
She's so cute.
She is, she knows it too. Can you tell by that little pose?
You know what's funny? Because school pictures, the parents aren't there. They're not posing.
No.
The little ones. And look at the pose that she just struck.
I know, we practice, I'll be honest. But here's the thing, we've seen these pictures go left, right? Where they take the pictures, you send them home, you send them to school one way, the hair is all over their head, or they do something silly. And so to see how much these pictures cost, I was like, is this real?
Give me ballpark range. And what do you mean? Is this for the full package?
So for the full package of every single picture, and to get, I think, a decent portion of the prints, total would have been around 300 bucks. And so when I started talking to other parents, people that even work here, I was asking them, is this customary? And they were like, yeah, that's how much they cost. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I did go cheaper.
Yeah.
I went with the digital copies, and I didn't get all of them. I just got a few of them, and I think I paid 108 bucks.
Am I
for
wrong?
The digital.
But is this kind of on par with just hiring a personal photographer, like a private photographer, and maybe setting it up at your house? Or
No,
going to
you're
their
right.
studio?
Because, okay, I remember when my daughter was born, you know how they do the newborn photos where they put them in the little outfits, make them look like bunnies or whatever? I think that total was like, with the prints and the copies and everything, I think that was like $275. So, and they came to my house and spent hours, because sometimes the baby falls asleep or they're cranky, and they spent almost the whole day there, and that was my cost. So I was shocked to see the price of these pictures.
Called. And again, the photographers, they deserve all the money.
Yes, they do.
Do an excellent job, and they're probably really overwhelmed with lines and lines of kids. Every kid is
crying
different.
and
exactly. You never know, or actually really posing. Maybe their parents didn't train them. But man, that's a lot.
I guess it's we have to chalk it up to it's the times. I mean, everything costs more. I will say that this morning I was shocked. I got gas at $2.89. That kind of floored me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't remember the last time I paid $2.80 anything for something.
No kidding.
Even like bottles of water.
Stuck that way for weeks. I got gas a week ago, and it was the same price actually.
I was floored. So yeah, I think the price of school pictures are probably on par with just about everything. So parents, when your kids come back with those pictures and it's time to pay for them, don't be shocked.
I would pay all the money in the world
for that picture.
That is just so cute. What was her reaction when she saw it?
She was like, that's me, Mommy. I took my pictures. I think, she was excited to see it.
Job.
Kids are always excited to see themselves, no matter what the circumstances are. So, yeah.
Okay, I want to go to this next trending topic, because I've seen it on TikTok and Instagram. Tyra Banks, she wants to warm up Americans this winter with ice cream.
I haven't seen this.
This is interesting. Smize and Dream is supermodel Tyra Banks' Australian ice cream brand, and it's bringing its hot ice cream to the U.S. After initiating global curiosity in Sydney. And that's where I saw the pop-up store. Actually, it's a really beautiful store. Here she is. I think, on her Instagram, and that's
that
ice
looks
cream there.
good.
So I was assuming, okay, before I saw this promo, I thought it would be maybe just like melted ice cream and
What's
it would
at the
be warmed
bottom?
up. But no, it's actually like scoops of ice cream, and I am so amazed by this. So let me tell you some more information.
Yeah, because I'm trying to get it. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
It is really cute.
So on September 26th, Banks announced this new dessert innovation on TikTok, saying that she's been working on making it hot for a year. That's so Tyra. In the release, Banks says that she's aware of people wondering if her initiative is just melted ice cream, but that the question means she's onto something. I think this is awesome, and she really doesn't give us an explanation. I don't know how these ingredients are different than, you know, regular ice cream. I don't know if it's spicy versus temperature hot, like a hot chocolate.
Because it's not melting. I'm
No,
looking
that's
at
what I'm
it.
saying. When I was just picturing it, just reading about this, not seeing an actual
okay, got it.
visual, I assumed it was melted ice cream, essentially.
Yeah, no, I
But
think
that's
she's
a
just
whole
playing
scoop.
off the word hot. That's what I think.
No, she says, like, actually to taste, it is
It's hot?
Yes.
How in the heck would it be warm if it's cold?
Okay, here's another piece.
so
Tyra
confused.
Banks and her initiative ice cream brand, Smize and Dream, are officially bringing the world's first Hot Mama hot ice cream to New York City this winter.
What?
So it is going to come to the U.S. Hopefully
I
next
gotta
it'll
taste
come
this
to
now.
Chicago, because we need it here, because it actually goes to winter. We don't need it in the second market.
No, I wanna
They
taste
can
this
keep
now.
their cold ice cream.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that now. Okay, I thought she was just playing off the word hot and, you know, saying it was hot mama ice cream.
Yeah.
Not that it was actually hot to the touch or like warm.
That's the question. I don't know. I think as soon as it comes here, the first thing we need to do is be first in line to get some, and then bring it to you all.
I'm looking. I mean,
Chicago.
yeah, it looks like they're mixing up all the ingredients and everything. That looked like it was butter pecan flavor.
Oh.
Was Tyra's favorite, but
Yeah, there's a hot chocolate flavor I saw.
Wow,
I
that
think there
looks
was like a
good.
coffee espresso flavor, which is just unbelievably delicious, probably.
huh? Okay.
I love it. And her smize, of course, we know that that's her signature.
Yeah, her signature
phrase from Top Model.
Yeah, from Top Model. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's good to see her going in a different direction. I think it's always good to see people
She's done
reinvent themselves.
so much, though. Didn't
Yeah.
she wrote a novel. She had a
makeup or
cosmetic
something for a while.
brand,
Yeah.
which is more on par, of course,
what she has going
Top
on.
Model. I loved that show.
Yeah, I did too.
Loved
Very
it.
good show. Okay, we got to talk about Diane Keaton.
Yeah,
she's
I
on there
know,
too
and I
of
was
things that we got to
just
talk about.
Watching The Godfather last week with my husband, and we were talking about how many things that she's been in. Diane Keaton, we learned this weekend, Oscar-winning actor, died at 79 years old. So Keaton's storied career as an actor has spanned more than 5 decades with dozens of roles
Very
on
long
stage
time.
and on screen. You know, a cause of death was not provided. She was photographed publicly last time towards the end of 2024, and her last Instagram post was in April, which I saw, and it was for National Pet Day.
And I thought Jake just interviewed her not too long ago.
Yeah, because
and
he had
she
that
was
great-
fine and happy.
Yes,
and
she had that great clip of like complimenting his like thick, luscious
yeah,
hair, pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah.
And how much she loved
I don't
that.
remember the date, but I thought that was last year too.
It really was not that long ago.
So yeah, that was good to see their interaction. So I thought, you know, by all appearances, you don't know what's going on with someone's
No, you don't.
health internally, but all appearances, she looked fine. My favorite movie with her more recently, and I hope I get the title right, it had Jack Nicholson in it, and it was Something's Gotta Give. I think wasn't it?
Yeah,
was that
that's
the
it,
name of
yeah.
the movie?
I watched
and
that too.
and
It was
he
great.
was dating her daughter, and then he I think he had a heart attack or a stroke or something, and then he found himself kind of you know, being taken care of by her. And I really liked that movie. I thought they were both great in it, but I really liked her in that movie. Like, she made that movie, and that was, you know, something that I remember vividly of her more recently. And then it was another one, Annie. Was it Annie Hall? I think that was that's one of her in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was a good one too. I've watched that
I know what
in
it is.
throwback.
I've
you
been
know.
watching years, but
Yeah.
I mean, just so many. 5 decades.
I know.
She's had a great career.
A great
And
career.
she will be very, very missed. All right, well, we have a lot to get to. Also, we're talking
do.
about Hope Chicago that launched in 2022. They are still doing stuff right now, 2025 and on to 2026. So we'll be right back after this break.
At Post.
Chicago Now. I really wish we could show the video of what Hope Chicago does every single year with the big scholarship reveal, and kids are so excited about that opportunity. But we're going to break it down and explain it a little bit more. So Hope Chicago launched in 2022, offering access to debt-free post-secondary degree and career certification programs for all currently enrolled students at participating schools. Now, all 4 of those classes are in college, but now this includes even more schools. So they partner with high schools Benito Juarez, Morgan Park, Johnson College Prep, Farragut. Is it Al Rabi? I hope I got that right. And that means the scholarship and support will be available to about 700 more students and parents across the south and west sides, which is greatly needed. And that includes Farragut senior Yael Leon, who's with us right now. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did.
Yes. All right. And then we're also joined by Varag Nanavati, the principal at Farragut Career Academy. And I got your name right, too. Sure. Look at me. I'm doing.
Thank you for coming.
2 400.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you both for coming.
Of course.
You know, for people at home who are not familiar, let's talk about the scholarship, how it really makes a difference.
Well, I can tell you that I was a sophomore in high school when I moved here, and how I pay for college was always on my mind. My parents worked hard. I didn't have to take a lot of loans, but to be a senior in this day and time and to not have the burden of college tuition is a big relief for the student and the family. So it's a blessing for the schools that are Hope Chicago schools.
So Yael, let's talk about you, because you're going to be one of the recipients of this scholarship. Have you identified what you want to do with your future, and then what school are you looking to go to with this scholarship?
Well, for school, I'm hoping to go to either UIC or I've also thought of Loyola. But sorry, can you repeat the question?
I was asking, what do you want to do with your career in the future? What are your plans?
Well, I was hoping to get into dentistry and also engineering. They both really fascinate me.
Interesting.
So what were your plans prior to this scholarship coming on board? How were you thinking about paying for this? Had that been a conversation in your household?
It wasn't really, not at the time. Hope Scholarship really solidified like going to college for me because, you know, that financial burden, it wasn't really something that I was looking forward to, getting into debt.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So do you feel like you truly knew that this is like, once you got offered this, that this is a big deal? Like, hey, look, I get to go into my adult life starting off without this burden, as the principal said.
Yes, it was.
I want to talk to you about your student body and how many students will be the recipient of this, and really what that looks like. Kind of give us a picture of who your average student is and would they have had the opportunity to go to college if it were not for this?
So we have a close to 100 students per grade level. Most of our students are immigrants at some point or another, mostly Latinx families, some black families. And prior to Hope Chicago, I can tell you that about 44% of my students went to a 2-year or a 4-year university. Immediately after Hope Chicago selected Farragut to be a Hope school, 78% of the students started going into college. And last year we were honored at the Board of Education meeting because 87.5% of our students enrolled in college, which is second highest for any other neighborhood high school in Chicago.
Wow. So it wasn't that the desire wasn't there, the money wasn't
exactly.
there.
Exactly, yeah, I guess you probably saw students' attitudes change pretty quickly that first year, knowing that, hey, this is changing the trajectory of my life.
Yeah, I mean, so many students, like, you know, Yael, as you grow up, there are things that you wish you get into, but there is this financial burden. How am I going to pay for this dream of mine? And, you know, luckily for us, Hope Chicago is paying for these students, really hardworking students, all their tuition. And so now you could pursue whatever your heart desires and whatever you dreamed about.
That's a big deal. So Yael, what are you thinking now? How thankful are you for this opportunity? And then what are your fellow classmates saying about this? Because I'm sure some of them, like your principal just said, they wanted to go to college too, but it wasn't maybe something they were talking about because they knew that they financially couldn't afford it.
Yeah, I'm extremely thankful and extremely grateful as well. But for my classmates, I think the realization hasn't really hit them yet, so there wasn't really a big reaction. But I think that's because they haven't made the realization that this is such an amazing opportunity for them. And I encourage every single one of them to, you know, take advantage of the opportunity.
You mentioned dentistry and engineering. Was your plan then initially to go to a junior college? Is that what you were thinking? And then where were you thinking about going? Were you going to stay right here at home as well?
I was thinking about staying in the state, yeah, but you know, I wasn't really looking into colleges, and when Hope Scholarship came along, it really like allowed that for me.
I know
I
when
love that.
I was
really
awarded just a little bit of scholarship, my parents were jumping for joy because, you know, it's a team effort. I'm the one who's still, you know, I'm still paying for off student loans. What was your parents' reaction to know that you were blessed with this opportunity?
My mom was ecstatic. She was extremely ecstatic. Yes, she was very excited, and you know, that burden was lifted of getting into debt and that tuition, because you know, it's financially stressful. So.
And for some people, you know, they may be the first generation. So in your household, were you going to be the first generation to go to college?
I was.
And now you will.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Awesome. Yeah, congratulations. That's really the story right there.
Yeah. So when people are now choosing, or students are now choosing maybe the career path or starting to think of ideas, is it a lot of kind of science and tech? Are you seeing people go into the arts, or is there really a trend? I guess that's just for my own curiosity.
Yeah, I don't think there's really a trend. You know, we have students who want to go into barbershop, cosmetology. We have students that want to be working with cars. We have students who want to be in the nursing field. So we all, you know, after 17, 18 years, really kind of have an idea of what we want to do with our life in the future, and now they all can get to pursue whatever it is that they want to pursue.
So before this, because this goes back to my high school days, there was a high school counselor there. They would kind of guide you through whatever it is you wanted to do. If you want to go to a 2-year college, if you wanted to go to a 4-year university, the counselor had to kind of shift to be able to accommodate the students, because now they do want to go to college. And then when did this come down? Because I would assume these deadlines are coming up now.
Yep. So not only do we have 2 counselors that can help, you know, with the applications and the essays and all that, but Hope Chicago also provides all 5 of the schools with a college success coach.
Oh, wow.
So the coach specifically works with all the students to make sure we're meeting all the deadlines, meeting with the families for FAFSA and all of those things. So not doing the paperwork on time will not be the reason
that you won't get in.
Yeah,
exactly.
wow.
So are you done? Did you finish your paperwork? Because some of these deadlines come up, I think, in November, if I'm not mistaken. Are you done with your essay?
I am not. No.
Okay, well, you better get on top of it,
Well, maybe you can add some of this into your essay too, huh?
Yeah.
How about your fellow classmates? I know Tia asked, you know, if they're as thankful, but you guys are still probably very motivated in school in order to get to the school that you want to go into, or get into the career choice or path that you want to do as well.
Sorry, wait, can you repeat that question?
Okay, you know what? It was kind of bad.
It was kind of open-ended. It was open-ended.
It was open-ending. But do you find, like, even though you are for sure getting this opportunity, that you're still working just as hard as if class?
Absolutely. I would even say that it's pushed me to work even harder, because, you know, this opportunity, I want to take advantage of it, and because it's came along, I feel like I'm just entitled to work harder, just to push harder, and just to really take advantage of it.
It's a blessing. I mean, not to have to pay for college.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
That is such a huge deal. I mean, even for parents, like most parents that have a kid right now, that's their #1 thought after the kid comes out is how we're going to pay for college. So it is such a huge deal. It really is.
It is.
Any other thoughts from you, Principal?
Well, you know, I think the 5th cohort, after 4 cohorts of Hope Chicago, I think Hope Chicago has done a great job to figure out what we can do so that more students graduate. I think it's changed how we do school at Farragut. I started March of 2024. Last year was a phenomenal year for us. This year we're on the right trend, because our goal as a school is to improve graduation rates and make sure that more and more students qualify for this wonderful opportunity. And then on Hope's end, they provide mentoring when the kids are in high school, but then also in college. There's a person, a campus liaison, that checks in on the student to make sure that the student's not being distracted. And then, you know, also the scholarship extends to one of the parents. So if Yael's mom wanted to go to college,
oh wow,
she has a chance to do that.
That's right. I forgot about that part.
Wow.
And so this truly is something that could transform the life of families and entire communities with this Hope Chicago blessing.
You know, I am going to put you on the spot, either one of you. Is there a specific story that you've heard, maybe from an upperclassman who has graduated already, or a student, that's really been impactful? You've seen them just go above and beyond, whether that's now for a 2-year that they graduated from, or now you're getting to a point probably where you're seeing students who have graduated from a 4-year university.
Yeah, just I think a few weeks ago there was an article in Chalkbeat that highlighted one of my seniors. So the student had a sister who goes to U of I right now, pursuing pre-medical school, Hope Chicago Scholar. The student now is a senior and also doesn't have to worry about college tuition, but more importantly, her dad is also taking advantage of Hope Chicago's parent scholarship, because he found that he's in this field where if he got a advanced certification, it would make him maybe $15,000, $20,000 more. And it wasn't lack of experience, it was just this lack of certification. So he's going through school now, thanks to Hope Chicago, to further his financial chances.
It's really reshaping lives is what it sounds like.
It really is.
How is the mentoring part going? Do you already have a mentor assigned to you?
I don't think I do. No.
Not yet, but you're getting there.
Yeah,
because
we're
now
definitely getting there.
You're rolling through the program. Well, I think best of luck to you. I mean, it sounds like you really have your options. So dentist or engineer, you got to kind of pick now.
I do, yes.
Yeah, this is great. You got it going on. We're going to see this hopefully 2026, 2027.
We really hope so.
Wow, what a program. Yeah. Thank you both so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
For your time. All right, we'll be right back.
Chicago.
Come on. Welcome back to Chicago Now. Sydney is going to join us here shortly. Our next guest is a friend of the show. The seat is empty. There he is. He has
now I appear.
And he's appeared.
Yes.
How about that?
He has shocked and amazed us with all of his unique talents. We're talking about mentalist Sydney Friedman, who is performing October 29th for one night only. The show is called Secrets, and it's happening at the Alley at Carnival. He joins us in studio for this special preview. So this show is October 29th. What can we expect to see, Sydney?
Well, you're going to leave the world and you're going to enter the universe.
Okay.
The universe of the mind.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot going on in the world, so when you come to a show like this, you can get your mind off everything.
I like that.
Be entered into a world of not illusion, because that's what a magician would do,
Yeah.
like sleight of hand, but this is sleight of mind.
very different.
Okay, very different.
We're
yeah.
ready. We're ready.
We've been seeing
You're
you
ready?
for years. We've been seeing you for years.
Yeah.
How do you keep on making your shows fresh and new? Because I feel like people, just keep on coming back,
Right.
and they get something that's a little bit different each time.
It's great. It's sort of like a comedian. You don't want to hear the same joke the second
True.
time. It's not fun. Right. So it's always different results when I do this. And a lot of it is reading people and understanding people. So people, they're always wanting to know fresh things about each person. So, and then I'm also taking a lot of time to create these different scenarios in which I present.
Okay, so you're going to give us a preview.
I don't know why I'm nervous.
Me too, for some reason. You're going to give us a preview.
I don't invade people. I don't do anything that you wouldn't want anybody else to hear.
But if you wanted to, could you?
I could. If you came to me for a personal reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if you wanted to know a lot about yourself and the direction,
man.
then I could do that. But I'm not.
That's good to know.
Okay, okay, good.
You don't want anybody
Put
to
it on
know.
a blog.
But here, we'll just try something. And this is not 100%. But one of the ways that I kind of warm up and kind of test myself is with little symbols. And I hope we got a close up here somewhere.
Probably
Like this
camera 12.
Yeah, there we go. This is a sunshine.
it?
We got that. I don't know if they're showing that, but there's a sunshine, and here's a plus sign.
Okay.
And there's a star and a figure 8, and here's a house. Very good. And that's a tree, and that's like
Spiral?
a spiral, right? And here's an arrow, just
Okay.
like so. So let's see, Tia.
Yes, that's me.
Take these, put them face down, and just mix them up. I'm going to turn my back and keep them
I'm
face down.
watching you, Tia.
Okay.
And what I want you to do, Tia, is to take one, keep them face down, and just randomly take one out of there. But
Okay.
do not show the camera, because otherwise people might
Okay.
think I'm looking at.
Got it.
And put the rest of them maybe off to the side or on your chair or something like
Okay,
that.
my chair. Okay,
And
got
when
it.
you did choose, look at it, memorize it, and then put it between your hands, like
Okay,
right between your hands, just like
done.
make a sandwich. And make
Okay.
sure your fingers are closed. And then think of the symbol that you got, think of the image, right? And face me if you can. Face me right here. And you might feel some energy from me here.
Okay.
And I'm just going to try to pick up things. The whole world is energy. The whole world is vibration. It's resonance. It's, let's see if I can kind of, yeah. There's some, in your life, things were a little uneven, but there's a lot of positivity going on right now, and even more to come. I feel that as well. So it's definitely got to be the plus sign. Is it a plus sign? Yeah.
Wow.
It's the plus sign. You got it.
And there was no prearrangement. We didn't
No,
talk ahead of time. Nothing.
no. I just saw you over there,
You
but I
didn't
didn't
write
say
anything
anything.
down ahead of time. Nothing.
No.
We just did that. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put
You wanna
that
do
one
that
down.
too?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Give her
Well, it's funny, and you're also
Wow.
giving people, like a look into what has been happening into their future, aren't you? Because you said,
A little positivity.
a little positivity coming her way.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I need all the positivity I can get, Sydney.
You got it.
You must feel it.
I do.
You feel my energy. You do. I need it, Sydney. I need it.
Let's try it.
You want to do it? Okay, yeah.
So I just go.
Yeah, just make
shuffle
it
around?
random.
Okay.
Sort of like in a tarot card thing. You see what you mix them up
Yeah,
and see
you
what
mix
comes
them.
up. So, yeah. And just take one, put the rest aside somewhere, just so there's no way I can see what those are. You got one?
Got it.
And you're thinking of it in your mind? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see here. Hold it out like this here. She's tough.
I know. She's a tough cookie.
Hard-headed. She comes off very nice. But inside, she's a tough one. Let's see here.
She is.
I'm gonna have to just look in both eyes here. Look right here. Right there. I don't know about her. I don't know. Don't know if I can get this. Just don't know. Just like
I want to know now. I know what it is.
Tia knows what it is?
I think so.
This has got to be something. It could be pointing downward, but for you it's pointing upward. Everything's positivity here. It is, but
That's
yours
good.
is pointing upward. It's the arrow. Is it the arrow?
Whoa.
I made you nervous.
I know.
Wow.
Good.
I know. Your producers,
Wow.
they don't like dead air. I'm
No,
telling
it's
you.
fine.
That was like suspense. That was
Yeah,
a little bit of
very much
suspense.
I know.
Wow. So is that what you're doing at your show? You're actually bringing people on, or is it more so like a group read?
Highly interactive like this. So
love this.
for this show that's coming up at Carnival, they've created a secret room in the back. It's called the alley. We're not in the alley physically,
Yeah.
but the room is
It's
called
a
the
beautiful
alley.
space.
And it's
yes.
a beautiful space, and it's in the round. So there's this way there can be no, people sometimes suspect trickery and all that kind of, so it's in the round like that. And literally of the couple hundred people who are there, we pull people up from pretty much maybe 2/3 of the audience gets involved.
Can I ask you, do you just like choose people at random, or do they almost volunteer? Like, hey, put your hand up.
So
if you want to come up.
I choose people at random. There's a few people, when you get a group, there's a few that just don't want to be part of anything.
Yeah.
But almost everybody, after they see in a few minutes, I don't make fun of anybody. I'm here to make people feel good about themselves. So within a few minutes, most people want to participate.
So what else you got? I see some other stuff in the bag.
Oh my God! All right, now you're really fascinated.
I didn't want to look because I didn't want to be like.
That actually made me hot. I don't typically get hot, and that made me hot.
Like heat?
I'm not commenting on that.
Not like that, Sydney. What are we talking about?
All right.
Like I was nervous. But why do you think I was a little bit harder to read?
Right. What's that?
Why do you think I was a little bit harder to read?
You're hard-headed. You are. You're very. When you know what you want, you
My
go
husband
and
would
get
feel
it.
the same
Yeah,
way.
I know.
Yeah.
It's hard to convince you otherwise when you got that thought in your mind. But anyway, I've got some greeting cards in here.
Okay.
All kinds of greeting cards. Get rid of that over there. These numbers will come into play in just a moment. But each one of these has a different greeting card in it, and I'm just going to kind of put them just like this here and there and there. Just a bunch of them like that there. And I also have, if I'm just going to stand up for a second and pull this out, this is a dice.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And if I roll it there, what do we get? It's a 5.
5.
5. And let's see, there's a 3. And if I roll it there, there's another 5. Whoop, on the floor, but what did it come
What is
up
it?
as? A 6. Right, there you go. But so it doesn't roll on the floor. What I'm going to ask you to do, Gabby, is to put your hand like this, and with this hand, you're going to roll it into your hand and then cover it up.
Okay, so that you can't see.
So I can't see it. And then open your hands and look at that number on top, and then close it up just like that there, okay?
Okay, you got it.
And then just keep it like that, okay?
All right.
Just keep it like that, if you could, just like so.
Okay.
And
try it out.
and just like that, but just right.
Okay.
Okay.
You got it?
Ready, Sydney.
And keep it covered.
It's covered.
Okay, and I'm going to place these numbers on the different envelopes. So I'm going to put a 1 on this one here. Would you just hold on to that one for a moment?
Sure.
Right there? And we'll put a 2 on this one over here.
Put some money in here.
Okay, and this one actually is going to be number 6 over here. Alrighty, and let's see, and then this one over here. Whoop. Okay, and then here's let's see, that one will be 5, and this one, I skipped this one. That'll be a 4. Take those, if you would, please, there.
Okay.
And then this one is obviously 3 right there. Hold those.
Okay.
You to you. I'm getting a 4. Is it number 4?
Yes! How did you know that, Sydney? Holy moly.
Now, so that's number 4. Give that to her to hold for just a moment, okay?
There you go.
Open the rest. I don't even want to touch
Open the
I
rest?
do nothing here. I do nothing. Just open that one. Yeah, as I said, these are greeting cards. Let's see which one. This is Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
I'll send you Valentine's when it's Valentine's.
Okay, good.
But it's not Valentine's Day, so that wouldn't apply today.
Okay,
Let's see.
let's see.
I'll try number 2 over there. Let's see what we got over here. Mazel tov on your bat mitzvah. Nobody's having a bat mitzvah.
Nope, not today.
And let's see. This is Father's Day. Number 1, Dad. Okay.
We love dads. That's
We love
awesome.
dads, but not here. You're not dads.
Graduation.
Happy graduation. Well, you just had a
Be
segment
perfect
about someone
for-
going to
yeah.
college.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's for him.
But anyway, let's see. Oh, this is
Christmas?
the holiday card. Snowflakes. Happy holidays.
Yep, not yet.
That's it. We're done over
That's
here.
it. We're done.
So let's see what this
Open
one
that
is.
one. And it says, cheers to the future success of Chicago Now on Fox 32.
That's pretty
And that's something to celebrate. How exciting.
Wow. We should keep
Wait
that.
a second. So you put the numbers on before.
We got to keep that one.
I just don't
That's
get it.
cool. Wow.
But that's why we have you.
Yeah, it's
How
all
long
in
is
the
a
mind.
show?
It's 5 hours, no intermission. No. It's about an hour and a half.
See, you say something, I'm just going to believe
I
it.
know.
About an hour and a half. Wow. And if people are drinking, are they eating there?
Yeah,
as
so they
they're
serve
watching?
wonderful food. It's like a South American cuisine, and they have incredible drinks and cotton candy.
And cotton candy.
I don't know.
How can people get their tickets?
So the tickets are at sydneysecrets.com. Sydney, it's
Well, you got something else in there.
SIDNEY secrets.com.
Okay.
And there are some still available. It's selling quite fast because they went on sale a week ago.
What else is in this bag?
Oh, we got time?
We got time.
We have time.
Oh my God, she's just looking at this bag.
Yeah, I didn't want to like look and see something.
Yeah,
for a
she's
long
really,
time.
I'm telling you.
I'm inquisitive about the bag.
So should I move these out of the way?
Yeah, you can clean. Yeah, you'll be our housekeeper, I guess. I don't know.
I need to do something. There you go.
Well, here, you know what? We just did those symbols here. We'll do an entire
Deck? Okay.
Okay. And a magician would have you choose a card. And even though they're all different, he would know what card you chose. And the reason he would know is because he could do some sleight of hand.
Oh.
Okay.
And control the cards. Or he could force you to pick a particular card without you knowing.
Okay.
But to eliminate all possibility of sleight of hand, I'm not going to touch these.
Okay.
All right?
Want me to
I'm
pick
turn
some?
my back, and wait till I turn my back,
Okay.
and then look through them, find one you like, put the rest of them down over here, or to your side, and then put it between your hands like you did before.
Okay.
Now, before we had
one
like
I
8 choices, here you got 52, so this is even more.
All right. Smack dab in the middle.
I don't know how you do it.
All right, just like this here. And you
got it.
didn't show the cameras or anything?
Not
There's
a
no way I
soul.
could see. Okay, good.
Nobody
and then
knows.
face me if you can just face like this here. And I'm going to try to just, if I can, here. Let's see.
She looks a little more serious.
It's my favorite card, Sydney.
It's a person of high aspiration. It's pretty obvious.
Big time.
Big goals. Also perfectionist. It could be 99, if 100 things and 99 are out of place, are in place, the one that's out of place, she's like.
That's me.
So that means it's definitely a jack, a queen, a king, or an ace. It's one of those high cards, just like that there. It's also a black card. Black indicates the past, red the future. There's something from the past that you've been tying up in order to move forward, trying to get that together. So it's definitely a black card. Hard worker, very diligent. Sometimes you procrastinate, but then when you get down to it, you really work hard to get it done.
That's me.
Yeah, right. So that's going to be probably the ace of spades.
You got it, baby.
Yeah!
Wow. I love that. That is so cool.
Good
that you
job,
actually
Sydney.
kind of hone in onto what's going on in their life.
Making the
That's
impossible
it.
possible,
Great job,
the unattainable
Sydney.
attainable,
Wow.
the inconceivable conceivable,
Oh,
the
my
unbelievable
goodness.
believable.
Do you ever get tired of people's reaction once you do, have them on for
I
a
love
trip?
it. But here's the thing, we're on a roll here.
We are on a roll.
I got into a zone about an hour and a half ago, I do meditation, yoga, all of that to get it. Sort of like an athlete has a whole, we just had the marathon, and you just don't go out and run. There's a whole preparation to do that, so it's the same thing. But this isn't 100%. So when you see my show, maybe 20% of it, 30% of it is going to be way off. Some of it will be close, and at least 70% of it's going to be right on, hopefully. So.
Wow. So no matter if you have, like an appearance on a, TV news segment, or if you're doing a big show like at Carnival, you're still putting yourself in the right mindset.
You have to do that, and you're not always in the same zone.
Every time.
It's like the running analogy. You're not going to win every race, but yeah, hopefully I get enough right. And actually, when I miss, people see how difficult it is, but I don't try to miss. So, but they knew Michael Jordan didn't make every shot.
That's true. You said you do yoga, so do you do all of this before the show, or have you made this a lifestyle?
I made it a lifestyle.
So every day?
Every day.
You're going through that?
Yeah. The other fascinating thing is called music mind reading, and I did that on Good Day Chicago with Mike Kaplan.
Yes, I remember that.
About a year ago or so, we did that here. We brought in a piano and did that, where people think of songs. So if anybody in the audience could think of a song, I sense what it is, and then I play it on the piano.
Wow.
Maybe we can do that on your show.
We got to do that next time. Yeah, we got to have you back to
Bring
do
the
that.
piano up now. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, could you bring that grand piano?
Yeah, bring it on over here.
So tell us though, but before we let you go, you've had, like I said, just years and years of experience of entertaining people. What has been like one of your highlights? Like what's been one that's been the hardest to pull off?
Oh my gosh. Well,
that's a loaded question.
It is. I mean, I perform a lot at corporate events and at charity galas, sometimes at colleges, at people's private homes for their little events. But some of the events, and even though we give them all the specifications how to make several hundred people, and you want to set it up so that people all have a good view.
Yeah.
You show up and it's nothing like you.
Yeah.
So That can be a tricky thing, but I've learned how to just go with the flow and make it work no matter what.
Is there one celebrity that they've invited you to your home that you will never forget, or invited you to do a party or something that you will never forget?
Yeah, so, well, almost all of them are pretty
unforgettable,
memorable.
yeah.
But I think, you know, you're the biggest celebrities I've performed with.
Other than us, Sydney. Other than us.
Good answer.
Please, come
She's
on.
trying to get names out of me.
It's got to be somebody.
It's
got to be somebody.
It has to be.
Bill Maher was a great one.
Oh,
Really
good.
wonderful, and there were interesting people there. I did an event where Ringo Starr, it wasn't a celebrity home, but Ringo Starr was a friend. He was there, and it was to meet a Beatle.
That is so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. That was, like, very cool.
That had to be
I
cool.
mean,
They
just
must
to
love
meet
you.
a Beatle.
I have a question about your beautiful hair.
Yeah.
How long does it take you
Well,
to
that's
style
the
it?
secret of this. You have to have big hair to do this.
Yeah.
No.
It channels
There's
the
a
energy.
her name is Hollywood Holly. She's in California and LA, and she comes out to Chicago once every few months and
Do your hair?
I know.
Also, I've noticed that you're here a few days before, the event. Do you like spending time in Chicago?
This is the greatest city in the world.
Thank you. Yes,
It is. It really is. So where is home? LA for you?
No, actually, Chicago. Chicago is, but
Yeah.
I'm not here a whole lot.
Because you're traveling and stuff.
But
yeah.
the summer here, I'm here most of the time. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, the cold. It gets too cold.
But it's. I mean, this is amazing. You know.
It is.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just starstruck because I've seen you so many times on my TV, and now I'm sitting right next to you.
I know.
You're
That's how I
fabulous.
feel.
I'm starstruck.
I am
How
starting.
amazing.
Oh, please. All right, Sydney. Well, Sydney Freedman will be at Carnival. Make sure you go get your tickets. It's been a pleasure being
October
here with you.
29th.
Yep, October 29th. Sydney Secrets.
I love it.
That'll be the show. It was fun.
That was so great.
It was
Thank you
good.
very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. All right, we'll be right back.
Worry.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. Alia Mancini is joining us all the way from Slovenia. We're talking about an interesting topic.
Yes, we are.
Dogs addicted to toys. We've seen many puppies. My Labrador was addicted to socks in the mouth, not necessarily a toy. I mean, addicted. And I bet all across the board, all across the world, as you are across the world, people have some weird addictions with their pups. So thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to talk about our new research. So yes.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So what does this entail, and what have you found out through your research?
Yeah, actually, it started because we all heard this term "ball junkies," and owners use it, and dog trainers use it to describe dogs that are obsessed with their toys, as if they were addicted. And to date, nobody really scientifically looked into it. So we wanted to find out if these dogs are just highly playful and motivated, or does this really, is this behavior really share similarities with behavioral addiction like in humans? So we prepared a behavioral test. I tested around 150 dogs and a questionnaire. So I think it was really great because around 1,700 people from all over the world answered. And we looked if we can see some behavioral addiction criteria like in human medicine, like salience, craving, loss of self-control, maybe withdrawal symptoms, risk of relapse, tolerance, and so on. And yes, we found quite interesting stuff.
So when it comes to, because there are a lot of people that they feel like if they take the ball away from the dog, then the ball or the dog does have, you know, symptoms kind of similar to humans where they're depressed, they're sad. Did you gauge that, and did you find that that was the case with some dogs, that literally they have the same symptoms as humans? And what are those symptoms?
Yes, exactly like you said, the big problem comes when the toy is taken away. And we noticed some of these symptoms in our behavioral test. We did several types of tests, and at one point the ball was on a shelf, and we offered the dog to play with an owner in a social play, or we offered food or some sort of other engagement, and those dogs were just highly fixated on that toy that was taken away, and they were pacing and barking and jumping up and down, and they were really highly aroused and frustrated, and they couldn't calm down. And this is what we observed during the test. And with these risk of relapse or withdrawal symptoms, this was more a questionnaire based, since we can't see those type of things and or behaviors in a short hour or hour and a half long test. Yes.
So to reiterate a little bit, because I know you kind of hinted to it, but is this the same as like maybe a gambling addiction and taking that away from someone, or video games for a teen or adult and taking that away from them? They get that kind of uneasy feeling?
Yes, I mean, it's hard to say what the dogs are actually feeling. We can just observe the behavior. So they are restless, you know, they maybe are, like you said, they are sad, they are restless, they are frustrated. Why can't I play? But I would say, you know, like in humans, of course, some people get addicted to video games or gambling or so on, but this percentage isn't high. And this is the same what we found in dogs. It will come out in our next paper when we look in demographics and so on. So it's the percentage, actually, this was quite interesting, is actually quite the same as in human addiction. So around 3% of dogs that we looked into showed this addictive-like behavior. So it's not like every toy motivated dog is also addictive. I wouldn't worry. Toys are still great. Play is a wonderful thing. It builds relationship, it releases energy, so there's no need to panic or to worry too much.
Oh yeah, that was going to be my question. Like, should you reduce the amount of time that your dog, you know, if you do have a ball junkie, should you now take it away? Should you kind of gauge how often you give the dog the ball? Like, what do you suggest if it's already too late, if you have a dog that's addicted to a ball?
I mean, first of all, I wouldn't panic. You know, play, like I said, is still a great thing. But maybe try to change how you play. You know, instead of endless fetch games, switch to cooperative games like tug of war, hide and seek, scent work. You know, make these play sessions short, predictable, always include calm breaks in between. If your dog gets really restless when the toy is put away, practice relaxation in other contexts. You know, make sure toys aren't accessible all the time. The goal isn't to remove the play, but to help your dog balance excitement and calm, you know. So play remains healthy and not overwhelming, you know. So no need to panic, just, you know, include other types of play.
I don't mean to be smiling this big, but I just think it's so interesting to learn more about our pets. And I bet people who have saw now the results of your research are also very interested in it.
Yeah.
Have you gotten good reception from what you published?
Yes, very good. And I was quite, I mean, this is part of my PhD project, so it was my first paper. So I was quite, you know, this is happening since, you know, I didn't expect it, but I guess it is an interesting topic. You know, people are talking about ball junkies. And what I wanted to say, it's also interesting for me because I think the perception of ball junkies is a bit like in humans, like workaholics. You know, some people were really proud of having a ball junkie. Some people were really concerned. Some people were really trying to prevent to come so far. So also perception is really a bit interesting in that concept because you know, in gambling we are all you know, we all agree it's a bad thing, but here people are not 100% sure that it's a bad thing.
You know, I mentioned the socks on my Labrador loved socks. Not just dirty socks, people. They weren't just grabbing onto the sock because it was dirty. But also, I want to show you this picture on my Instagram, if you guys can see it. But there's a dog that walks around the West Loop of Chicago named Elsie, and I just found her Instagram yesterday. And she carries around a dog bowl. So I don't know if we can bring it up.
At all times?
A huge metal dog bowl. Can you see that?
Yeah, you can see it.
Yes. Okay.
It's so cute. Walks the street, no leash, just following its owner, and it's finds comfort in holding just like a ball, holding its metal bowl around, even though it's pretty much as big as it.
That's hilarious.
Are you saying it's not just balls? It's different general toys or general, I don't know,
items.
Objects? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we tested with different toys, so the dogs could pick up one toy, either plush toy or tug of war toy or balls. So they decided which one they liked. But what you mentioned with the dog walking around, for me, I'm a veterinary behaviorist. It's not necessarily a sign of addictive-like behavior, but can also be self-suiting behavior. You know, sometimes when we're overwhelmed, and then we choose something that suits us and that calms us down. And this could be also something else, what this dog is showing, you know, with this metal ball in his mouth.
Like the equivalent to a baby always, like as they get older, they still want to hold on to that pacifier. Yeah. So I get it. It could be the same kind of thing. Well, Alia, you gave us a wide perspective on this, a very different perspective. And it sounds like you're working on some other research as this continues. So we hope to have you back so you can talk about that research as well.
Perfect. Thank you for having me. It was really nice to get to know you, and I hope we see each other again.
Is this your first time coming to Chicago, technically?
Yes, and I hope I can visit live also.
Yeah.
First impression was great.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
What time is it in Slovenia?
Yeah, what time is it there?
Slovenia, it will be 7 in the evening right now, and I'm actually at work at the veterinary clinic, so I hope nothing bad is happening behind me, but yes. So,
we didn't see anything.
Alia, you are the best.
Yeah,
Thank
you are. Thank you for joining us all the way from
taking
Slovenia.
a step away from your hard work.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it, and we will have you on again.
Thank you so much.
We'll
have a nice, for me, evening, for you, probably day.
Yeah, we got a long day ahead. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh, but wasn't that
cool is that?
That little dog in the West Loop
with that
bowl. I'm telling you, Tia, the picture does not do it justice, you guys. It is so funny, and it's like clanking around the sidewalk because it's too big for the dog.
Do you carry anything that's almost like a crutch or like something that kind of keeps you soothed?
Good question. I think honestly, like my addiction would be like coffee.
Your phone?
You know, or my phone,
okay.
of course.
Mine is
yeah,
my
that's
phone.
true. Yeah, definitely.
It's my phone.
I think that's all across
everybody.
The board. Yeah, nothing really else. I have a Labubu now. Maybe that's.
I don't even carry mine, and I got one. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this Monday edition of Chicago Now. We will see you on Tuesday. Have a safe rest of your day.
We have a whole week.
very deep. And the level of love is just incredible. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's, in one sense, it's so horrible that it could have taken place, but in another sense, it's so beautiful to see a new and beautiful day is rising. And now the rebuilding begins. The rebuilding is maybe going to be the easiest part. I think we've done a lot of the hardest part, because the rest comes together. We all know how to rebuild, and we know how to build better than anybody in the world. I want to express my tremendous gratitude to the Arab and Muslim nations who helped make this incredible breakthrough possible. And you really did. To President El-Sisi of Egypt, who is so generously hosting us today. And I want to thank you for the outstanding job your country is doing in so many different ways, and for helping us so much with this peace agreement.